Last year, I got burnt out. I was doing too many things for too many clients, and I had too many priorities. And I had to step back in December to ask myself, Emily, why do you feel burnt out when you have such an incredible company and you have amazing clients? And I asked myself this question because of this feeling of burnout. And I realized that I was focusing on too many things. And all of these things were sort of draining the joy out of my business by the end of the year because I was just tired. And so I asked myself, what could I do? I'm a business growth consultant. If I were to ask myself, what could I do to actually make an improvement in how I feel at the end of the year? What would I do? And I realized that I needed to come back to prioritizing my business and focusing on the things that are going to create the most results. And I remembered Pareto's Principle. Pareto's Principle is famously known as the 80-20 rule. And it sort of says that if you have 20% of your inputs will result in 80% of your outputs. And so that's a mathematical, concept basically saying that you might do 10 different actions, which could be called inputs. And one of those things, or 2 out of 10 actually, will have the biggest, most significant impact on the thing you're trying to create. And they ended up using this principle when they created all of the world changing quality control systems for manufacturing. That system by itself is just focusing on the bottom performing 20% of production errors. They were able to tremendously reduce the amount of waste when manufacturing things and increase profitability for manufacturing companies all over the world. And so this is a key principle that actually works in any type of system that's repeatedly done. And the rule isn't just like exactly 80-20. It's different depending upon the type of process. Sometimes 20% of your inputs might result in 100% of your outputs. You don't really know until you look at your specific situation. And you might be thinking like, why are you telling me this? I'm telling you this because I applied this rule to myself and you can apply it to your business too. The rule again is that 20% or a minority of your inputs are going to result in a majority of your outputs. So if you're exhausted, stop putting efforts into the bottom performing 80% of your actions. Just focus on the top 20%, the ones that are creating real results for you. And if you do that, then what ends up happening is you're going to be able to use all of your time to focus on that top 20%, and you're going to increase dramatically the results that you're trying to create. So what could be some of the results you're trying to create? Well, it could be free time. Maybe you wish you had more free time in your business. And what you could say is that there's maybe 20% of your 20% of your actions or responsibilities are actually resulting in 80% of your problems in terms of work. Like you have to work 80% of the time, so 20% of the things that takes up your time. If that was the problem you wanted to solve, is free time, all you have to do in applying Pareto's principle is to look at that top 20, the 20% of the actions that take up all of your time and figure out a way to delegate it. If you did that, can you see, if you truly believed that this principle was a true phenomenon in nature and that it could apply to you, can you see that just by identifying that strategically, it would help you to have a very effective strategy to get your free time back? And if you wanted, for example, to gain more revenue this year, and you looked at the current revenue, so it's 100% of your revenue, you could say that with certainty about 80% of that income is going to come from 20% of your customers. So imagine you're putting in all this effort to serve, 100 customers, but what if 20 of them were the ones that were actually generating the most amount of revenue? What if you stopped servicing the bottom 80%? What if you stopped serving them and you just started focusing on that top 20%? You know what would happen? First of all, you'd spend less effort because you'd be focusing on just those people instead of that other 80%, but you would end up finding you would be able to generate more revenue because you'd be using the most significant piece of leverage, which is the people who really value and appreciate you and pay you for what your services or products are worth. So this principle, Pareto's Principle, is actually really effective. And it's a tool that I use in consulting for other people. I forgot to use it for myself. So this year, I'm focusing on the things that give me the most joy, the most revenue, the most profit, and I'm cutting the fat on the things that give me the most stress. So I want to take you along that journey too. I have a live webinar that's happening today at noon, and we are going to talk about Pareto's Principle. It will be amazing to apply these concepts to your business, no matter where you are. And you can also apply it to your personal life. And it's not complex. I really told you the principles that we are going to talk about on this little short video, but we're going to dive in deeper to your specific business and identify how to reach your goals so that you, by the end of it, know the answer about what it is that you should be prioritizing this year to get more out of your business. So I hope you have a great day and that this in some way encouraged you, even if you don't attend the webinar, but please do join me because it'll be fun, 45 minutes. And we'll talk about how to find more leverage for the things that you want in your business with less effort.